All right, we live. Go ahead.
All right. Shalom, shalom. We back once again from the Dallas camp or the Dallas sector from SICARRI. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah. I'm Osmawa. Got my brother with me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, say no. Yada,
Yeah,
yada.
man.
Yeah,
They know who I am.
They know who you are. All right. So as y'all already know, man, the things that's been going on. If you don't know, you're obviously living under the rock. You know, the Lord is, speaking loud and clear, and He's making Himself known once again in the place that He created, man. All right, let me get this real quick in the book of Psalms. All right, and this is how He is making Himself known. This is Psalms 19 and 16. You want to read that for me?
Psalms 19, verse 16.
Got it.
Oh, hold on real quick. 19, verse 16. Yeah, this is Psalms chapter 9, verse 16. Yahweh is known by the judgment.
Yeah, so that's how He's known. It says Yahweh is known by the judgment which He executeth.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So even for a lot of these atheists and people of different persuasions, man, these different philosophies, they're once again, now they're becoming acquainted with the works of Yahweh and His true nature, right? Because for a long time He's been painted as a passive power, man, as a passive power that He won't execute judgment upon the planet Earth because He actually withheld His fury and His anger for a certain amount of time. But now He's speaking loud and clear through these different catastrophes going on, where there may be famine, race wars, where there may be snowstorms. What's going on now, right? Because snow is actually that's one of His methods that He uses for correction, and we'll prove it in the scriptures here in a second. All right, it says Yahweh is known by the judgment which He executed. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. All right, and who's the wicked according to the Bible? Malachi chapter 1 tells you. Says the nation of Edom is, right? So Esau, right? They're snared in the work of their own hands. And not just them, it's not exclusive to them. It's also including the wicked people of our own nation. They're snared in the work of their own hands too, right? And how is that? Because now the Lord is visiting their iniquities by the way of these catastrophes, man. Right?
I got a precept too.
God.
Also backing up how the Lord is known by His judgments. It says, this is Ezekiel. This is Exodus chapter 7, verse 5. And the Egyptians shall know that I am Yahweh when I stretch forth mine hand upon Egypt and bring out the children of Israel from among them. And how did He do that? He brought us out, but He killed the firstborn son, sent the darkness upon Egypt. He sent plagues of frogs and.
Oh, what did He send upon Egypt about?
Huh?
You said
plagues.
Before that.
Frog darkness,
right?
Yeah.
What's going on in Texas right now? Darkness, man. Right?
Especially the first day. It was gross darkness out here.
Gross darkness. And it's still a lot of darkness in a lot of places. Like for me, for instance, my apartment, I don't have any water. I don't have any electricity, and just today I got notified that the Fort Worth Water Authority, they shut down. So now people don't have clean, sanitized water to drink. Now people are drinking parasites, man.
Mm-hmm. Also, with me, like I just got power. I would say late last night, or it's probably late last night, but it's been on pretty consistently. But that was like we went from like Sunday all the way till now. Like, you know what I mean? With no power, all the restaurants was closed, so you couldn't heat up no food, and you couldn't buy any food. Then on top of that, when you try to go to a store or something, if the lights, because we had the rolling blackouts, you remember the rolling blackouts? Mm-hmm. If a rolling blackout happened while you're at the store, they make you leave the store. And it got to a point where Jake was really about to riot in these stores. Like, look, man, y'all, look, y'all, we about to take this whether y'all like it or not. It was getting to that point.
Yep.
And this is a precursor to the end, man. Because Jake ain't about to sit here and take this. Oh, you gotta just leave the store. No, we're gonna take what we get. We're gonna take what we want, man. Because it's about to be survival mode out here, bro. Real soon.
And I got a precept on that. Yeah, like you just said, because things are about to get so desperate, right?
Shalom, Mayash.
Shalom, Akim. Yabashim Shabbatam.
Yabashim Shabbatam.
All right. And like Akiati just said, man, things about to get so bad to where people just about to start running into homes, you know, and taking what you got. And this is why you shouldn't get caught in, you know, if you actually bringing groceries up to your home, man, try to keep on a DL right now. You know, get in the habit of keeping down a DL, because as things escalate, you know, as the times, you know, get more urgent, you know, people are going to really, you know, see what you got so they can take it from you. And this is a scripture to prove it. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and 19. It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy the houses with the sword. Well, our modern day sword is what? The gun. It says, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. And that's like what Akiati just said, man. People there's, you know, already looting, or I wouldn't say looting, but taking things out of you know, out of these grocery stores when when that power went off.
Some people was looting.
And for real, you see?
Some people was looting.
You know, and that's also part of prophecy, because in 2nd Ezra chapter 5, let me pull that. 2nd Ezra 5 and 8, it says this. It says, and there shall be a confusion in many places. You know, when all hell breaks loose, people just gonna lose their marbles, man. They don't have any stability, right? While the men and women of the Lord, while the Lord is right now equipping us to be ready for that time. And our wisdom and stability is right there found within the Holy Scripts, like Isaiah 33 and 6 said. You want me to pull that?
You want me to get it?
God.
All right, this is the book of Isaiah chapter 33, verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times.
Yep. It says wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time, right? And how do we gain our wisdom and knowledge? Well, first and foremost, you know, like Deuteronomy chapter 4 says, it says, if you keep these things, this shall be your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of these nations, right? Because also in 2nd Ezra, I want to say chapter 15, no, chapter 5 as well, it says that many shall go from one nation to another nation to see if there's any understanding, right? And they're going to say, no, understanding and knowledge has not passed through here. Why? Because everyone has lost the little bit of wisdom, at least earthly wisdom that they once possessed. Now the Lord just withdrew everything, man. You know, it says, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time and strength of salvation, right? Because your wisdom and your knowledge that the Lord has given you is going to eventually be a bridge to your salvation, right? Because the Lord said in Wisdom Solomon 7 and 28, he says that he loveth none but those that dwell with wisdom. So if wisdom is not reigning inside of you, the Lord does not love you. All right.
And also Deuteronomy, I'm just going to quote it. We don't have to get it. Deuteronomy 4 and 5 goes into our law, statutes, and commandments is our wisdom. Hold up real fast. Hey, can you expound upon that real quick?
You wanted to Officer IOS? Oh, is he on?
I think he's coming right back on. Get
okay,
that real quick.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So I'm gonna read it. This is Deuteronomy chapter 4. I'm gonna start at verse 4. It's one of my favorite verses. It says, but ye that did cleave unto Yahweh your power are alive, every one of you this day. So if you cleave unto him, man, right? Just how you know, when we was Jakes in the world, we used to always have that bud cleaving to our mouth. You know, well, now you need to cleave unto your power, right? He says when you cleave unto him, you're going to be alive. Why? Because he's the vine and we're the branches, right? If the branch gets severed off, you know, he's going to eventually wither away and die, right? So that's why it's important for us to cleave unto our power, because he's the one, just like that vine, he provides the nutrients, right? He provides the water, he provides the plant food and everything else that branch needs in order to produce that fruit, right? So that's why it's important for us to cleave unto him. Verse 5, he says, behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments. See, and how does he teach you? By the men that he set up, particularly in these last days, to really issue out his commandments and his decrees and his warnings, man. Right? So proving to you that this is the platform that the Lord has chosen these last days, the platform of teaching. All right, like Ecclesiastes 3 talked about. He says that there's a time to speak and there's a time to keep silence. Well, as we often go into, this is obviously the time to be speaking. Right? We kept silence long enough during the time of slavery, right? Because the Lord didn't reveal anything unto us at that time, because we were really up under the harshest one of the harshest phases of our punishment, right? But now the Lord has opened up a grace period, right, to allow us to cleave unto his teachings that he's given us. So he says, behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as Yahweh my God commanded me, that you should do so in the land whither ye go to possess. Keep therefore and do them, speaking of those statutes and judgments. For this is your wisdom and understanding. See that? So us keeping the law, statutes, commandments, right, and having faith in his son, who the world Italy calls Jesus, right? Real name is Yahweh Shah. Us by doing those things, that is our wisdom and our understanding in the sight of the nations, right? And that's why, generally speaking, these other nations typically look at us, with disgust, because we don't represent our power, right, and our heritage the way that we should, because we are for a majority, we are far away from keeping these laws, statutes, commandments. All right, it says, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people, right? And that's exactly what's going to be happening, man, especially in the last days with the Lord's elect, right? Those who actually have wisdom and knowledge with their stability. They're going to be out there. Y'all seen that movie, The Book of Eli?
Yeah, I seen that movie.
Yep, they're going to be just like Eli, man. Right? Eli was calm, cool, and collected the whole time with that Bible in his hand, quoting scripture, and those other people, they were especially that female, and what it was also at the end, it was a dude. I haven't watched it in a while, but anyway, they were cleaving unto him, man, because he was kind of like that covering from the storm, and that's what the Bible said that a man is going to be. Let me get that real quick. In the end times, this is Isaiah 32 and verse 2. It says, and a man shall be as a hiding place from the wind. Talking about those winds of strife in Revelation 7. Right? It says, and a covert from the tempest. Right? They're talking about a protection from those raging waves. It says, as rivers of water in a dry place, because America is that dry place. Right? America is that dry place, man, because we had for a majority, we still don't have, that water of life to nourish our souls, generally speaking, as a nation, man. A lot of our people are still out here dry and famished in this dry and thirsty land. It says, and as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. All right, we're going to be as a shadow of a great rock in a weary land, because we're actually hiding behind the rock, which is Yahweh Shah.
Mm-hmm.
Con, you had something else?
I was gonna pull Psalms 91.
Okay, bet. Yep.
Because the thing about this time period right now, this is why you really gotta have faith. Because you see how, matter of fact, before I even get that, this is what I was gonna get before I had that phone call, real quick.
Okay.
Because when I was trying to navigate through the stores and just try to just get whatever little resources I could, I've never seen Jake be so rude to everybody, bro. Not even just Jake, but everybody. So much just like no type of brotherly love whatsoever. No type of concern for anybody else other than their own selves. Like, especially driving around. I never, like, people just pulling out. You don't even pulling out in front of you. Don't even care. People just trying to shove you to get stuff. Like, I've never seen it to this level specifically. And it's like, that's just a real precursor of the time we're about to be living in, when it's like the so-called end times. And watch this. Let me get this. Matthew chapter 24, verse 7. It says, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines, pestilences, earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows, right? Because it says famines, right? Now, if you went to the store, I don't know if anybody in Texas right now, if you went to the store in the last few days, them shelves was bare, bro. There was no meat. There's barely any type of bread. Like, we had to first shop outside of a 7-Eleven to get stuff, and that was mostly like candy and chips and stuff. We've been surviving off junk food, bro. And that's the family's going to be coming. But at the same time, you got to have that mentality in your head, like the servants of the Lord shall eat. That's where that faith comes in. Because the scriptures say the servants of the Lord shall eat. So if you have that mentality, you're not going to make haste and do something ridiculous. You're going to be prepared for the temptations that's going to be coming. You're like, because we know the chip is coming soon. We like that's evident, especially with Joe Biden. We know the chip is coming very, very, very soon. Now we're going to be put in the same predicament. It's either you want to hold on to what you have and have faith in what you have, like with the scriptures, hold fast to what you have and overcome the world. If you don't do that, you end up doing what? Taking that chip. And you're going to take that chip if your faith ain't right. You got it. Matter of fact, can you do me a favor? Give me Sirach chapter 2.
Okay, bet.
Then I'm going to come back to this.
Desperate times calls for desperate measures. You want for at the very top?
You go ahead.
All right, this is book of Sirach chapter 2, verse 1. It says, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
Prepare thy soul for temptation. Why? Because if you come to serve the Lord, you have to first do what? Believe in him. Just like how it says in Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1 and verse 6. The only way to please the Lord is to have faith in him. That's what's going to please him. So when you come to serve the Lord and actually sup with the Lord and deal with him, you have to first have faith. And you have to prepare yourself for the temptation that's going to come. Because the same thing is going to happen when the chip comes out. You're going to be hungry and see that they offering this chip, the mark of the beast, Karagma. They're going to be offering Karagma to you. And you can eat all you want. You go to go to the corral and eat all you want. Or you can sit there and prepare yourself for temptation to do what? Get the kingdom. Now, we have to understand that if we have faith in the Lord, he's going to feed us. He's going to, that wisdom, and like I said before, that wisdom and knowledge is going to be the stability of our time to keep us stable through that trying time, through that day of trouble, or not the day of trouble. What's the time of, what's it?
Hour of temptation.
Hour of temptation. That's what I'm talking about. Through that hour of temptation. That's what we need. Faith is first and foremost in this. Go ahead and keep reading.
God. Verse 2 says, set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble.
And make not haste in time of trouble. Because what's going to end up happening, just like how when the mark of the beast comes out, it's going to be just like this. You're going to be hungry. It's man, I could eat right now. I can eat right now if I go get that chip. That's making haste. That's like, you're not waiting on the Lord. Yep. You literally, that shows you don't have faith. You're not waiting on the Lord. Keep going.
God. And if you think about it, when scripture says make not haste in time of trouble, with us knowing that time of trouble is like, us being through the fire. Well, if you put gold in the fire and you don't leave it there long enough and you bring it back up, it's still going to have a lot of dross and filth on it. So that's why the Lord isn't going to move us out of that fiery furnace, prematurely, because, he understands that we're still going to be, filthy. So he's got to leave us there, man. And we got to be willing to submit ourselves unto the Lord, in that furnace of affliction, because we understand that the Lord is only bringing, a church, without spot or wrinkle, that's clean and purified from all their sins, man.
Because matter of fact, that's going into 2nd Ezra. Was that 17?
I don't think that's 17.
Hold on, let me see. Because you said he's not gonna leave us in here prematurely.
Oh God,
he's not gonna let us out prematurely. It's at 6. It's chapter 16.
Yeah, it's 16. Yep.
Where it says, let me see. I gotta read it.
6 seconds.
Where it says, "Then shall it be known." Let me see. The very end of it.
Here you go. 73.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. This is 2nd Ezra, chapter 16, verse 73. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire.
Yep. Matter of fact, bro, started 20. Started at 20. 70.
All right, bet.
This is going right into it.
I'm pulled up on my screen so everybody can see it. 2nd Ezra 16. I move my phone.
Yeah, I asked you could chime in when you want.
2nd Ezra 16. Starting at verse 70, and it says, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord.
There's gonna be a great insurrection. That's gonna be that trying time when it's gonna be hard to be an Israelite, where it's gonna be hard to eat, where it's gonna be hard to do this and do that. That's when your faith is really gonna be tried. That's why it says what it says in 73. Then shall it be known who are his chosen.
Yep.
Keep going.
Okay. Can I add something on that?
Go ahead.
because I was just on Instagram, just kind of scrolling through, and brother from the Philly camp, Higher Mind, he had on one of his clips an excerpt from a news clip where in Australia they're already they're making it illegal for people to preach repentance out there, man. And we got camps out there in Australia.
Esau, man. It's because that famine of the word.
You see,
it's that Amos chapter 8.
Yep. All right, verse 71 says, "They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord."
And you can see the precursor to that now, man. Because the way people was acting in these stores, like, did you see how people was acting? Did you go to the stores, or you was too busy working?
I was too busy working. I saw how they was acting at work. Hey, and let me tell y'all, because I was talking to another brother, man. I was just kind of telling him a little bit, and I also told you a little bit too, bro. If it's like this already, just imagine, and this is just a snowstorm that just happened. What, of course, of 2 or 3 days, 3 or 4 days, and I'm, if y'all don't know, I'm in the, I don't want to tell y'all because then y'all gonna do research on me, whatever. But I help the public, right? And so I'm here walking in dead to houses with dead bodies in it because they having elderly couples. They haven't eaten in days. Their power went off. They can't call their grandchildren or their children to come check up on them and bring them food. People, elderly people who's usually on oxygen or whatever. Now since the electricity is out, they can't breathe adequately without their oxygen. People dying left and right, man. It's just, and it's like all this. And it's not even the time of Jacob's trouble yet, and it's just in the little city that I work in, so just imagine what it's like throughout Texas, and just imagine what's going to be like on a global scale during the time of Jacob's trouble, man. That's why the Lord said that bodies are going to be stacked upon bodies out in the streets as dung, man.
It's crazy, bro. Everybody on the internet, especially Facebook, talking about, oh, Texas, we get snow all the time. But first of all, Texas ain't built like that, man. Right. Like the stuff we sit on the ground right now is foreign to us. Right. This is not things we see even yearly. This time we see maybe like the last time. Matter of fact, I've never seen snow like this in my entire life. Living in Texas, I've never seen this. I'm 27, about to be 28. I've never seen this, bro. But like this right here, man, like people don't know how to drive. Matter of fact, they was cutting off the what is it? What was we talking about? The phone lines, like the cell towers. Yeah. So it got to a point to where like we couldn't get on the internet. I couldn't even call nobody. I was like, man, this is what it's about to be like, bro. That's crazy, man. And I was like, man, we're gonna be all right, but just dang, bro, like, it's crazy. You got people out here committing suicide.
Yep. Oh yeah. Exactly. Yeah, people at my job, man, they was committing suicide. You walk into these homes, people done blew their brains out. Women and men. Yeah. One man did it, in front of his children and his wife. Didn't care.
I'm saying, when
the Spirit of the Lord comes upon you to take yourself, hey, you gotta do
it. I'm saying like this, man, because you said it's mostly Edomites, so it's like,
I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I was like,
within 3 days they committed suicide.
Yep. Yeah. It's that cold.
They ain't been through nothing.
What you say?
I'm saying that's how you know they ain't been through nothing.
Exactly. Yeah, hey, now they finally feel what it's like to actually be a Jake, man, in America. Yeah. Not having running water, not having lights, losing your job. Well, look, we've been doing this our whole life and still making it. But that's further proof that like the Most High said in Deuteronomy 13:7, all these curses shall come upon your enemies. Mm-hmm. So now they're getting a little taste. And they can't handle it, man.
We're gonna have to figure out how to keep them alive in the kingdom, man, because they can't.
Like that, man.
I was telling my, like, remember I got the phone with you, Asmar. I told my wives about it. I said we're gonna have to find a way to keep them alive in the kingdom, because they can't make a couple days in a snowstorm, bro. You gotta deal with a rod of iron and work in the field every day, man.
Oh shoot! Yep. Have an IV in you while you picking my corn.
Not built for, like, what does it say? Abaddon, they said not built for this. They're not. Esau
Yep.
ain't built. Esau only built for luxury, man,
That's
and
right.
being somebody who's a captor.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's all they built for.
He not even built to go on the beach, man. The sun eat his ass.
He just-
He ain't even going to make a piece, man. This man, that just proves that the sun hit him.
Esau can't even roll the piece.
Yep.
Oh,
Verse 73, it says, verse 72, for they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses.
man. Coming soon.
Then shall it be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire. Here,
That's how you gonna know who the Lord's chosen after they survive all that. Because when you see salvation, like, or even words in Hebrew regarding salvation, you see about the preserved, the reserved of Israel. You see things like that. People are going to be making it through that. Just like how it talks about the 1/3 in Zechariah chapter 13. It talks about them. They're gonna be brought through the fire. Like, you gonna suffer a little bit to get to this kingdom. Did it say that in Hebrews where we gotta suffer? Was it suffered? Who was that? Let me find it.
Chastisement.
Yeah, not suffer chastisement.
Acts 14:22.
What is it? When it suffered to get the kingdom?
Got to enter into the kingdom.
That one. That's what I was looking for.
Okay,
yeah, can you get that real quick?
Yeah, Acts 14:22. It says confirming the souls of the disciples. It says, and that's how you confirm. You know. It says,
"This shall we know."
Yep. It says, and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of Yahweh.
Much tribulation. This ain't no easy walk. And it'd be like, how you read scriptures like this and then look at Christianity and be like, yeah, they're doing all this. Much tribulation.
Bro. Yeah, man. And this is go to show, man, you got to have the Spirit of the Lord, rest upon you in those days. Because how else are you going to overcome it?
Yeah. For real. It's just like, it's one of those things where it's like, man, just imagine if it was chip. Like, I was thinking this in my head the whole time. Just imagine if it was chip time. Imagine if it was charagma time at this current moment, bro. Like, dang, if I didn't understand this, like, if our people, that's why it's important and imperative to preach what the mark of the beast is. Because if our people aren't gonna know that and just get the mark of the beast and that's just gonna be it for them. It's just like I've just been thinking that the whole time we're going through this. I've been thinking that it's like, what if it was mark of the beast time? Jay gonna take that to get some kind of luxury in this.
That's right.
Yep.
Hell, we already sell out each other for status. How much more our own selves?
You're lying, bro.
Yeah, they'll probably take the vaccine and the chip on the same line.
Hey, you know how cable companies got the bundle? They go bundle the vaccine with the chip.
You already brought out my servant shall eat in Isaiah. You already brought that up?
Isaiah said, nah, we ain't bringing that yet.
We talked about it. We can bring it up. Bring it up.
I want to bring out something first, referencing, the second answer scriptures and things like that, as far as, doing what's right in the eyes of the Most High, so we can spare you from that particular, judgment. But, obviously the Most High got mercy on who he wants to have mercy on. But this is Ecclesiastes 8:5. Whoso keepeth the commandment shall feel no evil thing, and a wise man's heart discerneth both time and judgment. And that's what time we're in. If we believe in the Bible, even Christians believe in the Bible, even though they don't necessarily focus on prophecy, they expect Jesus to come back with arms open and hugs and kisses. But there's judgment coming on the earth. And if you're an Israelite that knows what's going on, even if you're not in a position to help anybody out, you got to, help yourself, help your family, and get right with the Most High before it's too late. Because anybody can easily starve to death in 3 days. I mean, that's all it takes, maybe a week or so. Without water, 3 days without water, you can die for the most part. So it's good to be prepared as far as physically, but spiritually is the most important aspect. And let me read the next verse. Because to every purpose there is time and judgment. Therefore, the misery of a man is great upon him. So Texas is going through a state of affliction. Not necessarily saying it's judgment from the Most High, because Esau has technology, but either way, it's ordained by the Most High to put people through the test and affliction. And like I said, you just got to have the right mindset and prepare before the actual Jacob's trouble. food, water, shelter, where to go, where not to go, the Second Amendment rights can take place. All that stuff is going to matter when this judgment starts rolling around the corner, man.
That's right. That's right.
That's
And
right.
like I just said, man, even if you can't help nobody else, what you really got to focus on is you and your household. Let me get some scripture. Prove that real quick. 2 Ezra 14 and 13. And it says, now therefore set thine house in order. Right? Set thine house in order. And that's what we've been doing, is really, this is really going into setting those who's in the faith or that's in the house of the Lord together, man. Right? You really got to make sure you got to comfort the feeble-minded, as it says right here, exhorting one another daily. That's you setting your house in order, right? It says, and reprove thy people, right? Comfort such of them as be in trouble and renounce corruption. Let go from the mortal thoughts, talking about these carnal thoughts, man, because if you're carnal in these last days, whether that may be, you're trying to stockpile up on weapons to overthrow Esau or whatever. Hey, the Lord's gonna kill you, man. Simple. Because as we go into often, the Lord is using Esau as his sword. This is Esau's birthright. It's the gift of the sword. So if you get in Esau's way, you're by default getting the Most High's way. So what do you think he's going to do? He's going to plow you down, right? Exactly. So we can't think carnally in these days. We got to be spiritually minded, right?
That part.
It says, let go from the mortal thoughts, cast away the burdens of man. So whatever is a burden upon you, whatever is weighing you down, whether it may be your mind, your family, your job or whatever, by all means, any means necessary, cast that away from you, right? Because this is a time where you need to be uplifted in the spirit, man, right? It says, put off now the weak nature, and that weak nature is everything in this body in its entirety, man. Our carnal minds, the body physically, Now, obviously, we can't put off our bodies, right now. That's going to happen when the Lord takes us up, man. Right at that same time, when those bombs are dropping, right, he's taking us up in those chariots. We're going to shed off these bodies, man. We're going to put on the immortal, right? Mm-hmm. It says, and set aside the thoughts. You see this, and this is as I was speaking the other day to someone. We were talking about your mindset and your thoughts, man, because this is where the proving grounds of the Lord is, man. It's all in the mind. It says, and set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, right? It says, and haste, and it's a lot, and haste thee to flee from these times. So you got to hurry to flee from these times, right? And why is that? Because first and foremost, these are evil times, and you're in the land of your captivity. Let me get this real quick. Isaiah 51 and 14, he says, the captive, and who's the captives? Us, right? Because we're still in the land of our captivity. My forefathers was forcefully brought over here, right? Work for the damn Davenports, man. Says the captive exile. So the captive who's in exile, it says, hasteneth that he may be loosed, right? We're hastening that we may be loose out of this place and out of our own thoughts, man, right? Because not only is Esau our enemy, but we're our enemy as well, man. Mm-hmm. When you're carnally minded. Because it was because our carnality that actually brought us over here. Because we didn't, because in Romans chapter 8, it says that a carnal mind cannot be subject to the law of God. Well, why did we get cast out? Because we were carnally minded.
Yes. That's right.
It says, and that he should not die in the pit. Yeah, and this pit is America. This is that deep whore. This is that deep pit of the whore that it talks about in Proverbs chapter 2 and chapter 4. I believe it's chapter 4, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm. I got precept too.
Con.
Yeah, Tobit 12 and 8, 12 and 10. But they that sin are enemies to their own life. These are our own enemies. Like, right there, when we transgress the law, statutes, and commandments, we enemies to our own life.
That's perfect.
That's why we got to cast off that weak nature. You know that weak nature is carnality because spirit is eternal. And carnality is corruptible. It could die, and fragile is frail. That's that weak nature.
That's right.
That's how you know he's talking about that. That spirit. When you walk in the spirit, you already moving at a higher mind state than the world is moving in, especially America of all places. Like, it'll save you from a lot of things.
Yep.
So yeah, where
And
you at?
let me go back, finish it out. It says, the captive exile hasteneth that he may be loosed, and that he should not die in the pit, nor that his bread should fail. And this is what we're hoping, man, that our bread shouldn't fail. And we're not talking about physical bread, because as we got enough faith that the Lord is going to provide us that. This is the least of our thoughts, because he tells in Matthew 6, take no thought for what you shall eat. He says, if the Lord clotheth the fields of the ground, and feeds the ravens, feed the birds,
We might as well
surely,
get that.
Con,
Might as well go
he
ahead
says,
and get
surely will he feed you. He's not evil, man. You think the Lord is just gonna, if we don't back out of this truth, if we don't become reprobates, you think the Lord is gonna forget our labor of love that we, dedicated our life to, man? He's not gonna forget that. So obviously he's gonna reward us, but we gotta have that faith, right? But the bread that we're worried about that's gonna fail is his spiritual bread, right? Because we understand at any time, if we make a wrong move in this truth, the Lord can put out our candle and he's going to withdraw his bread away from us, man. And we're no longer sitting at the dinner table with Yahweh Shah every day. That's the bread we're worried about that's going to fail. While the world is out here, worrying about these stores going empty. Listen, I can honestly care less, man. Because I know, ever since, I was a young man, the Lord has always made a way. And just like you all that's watching, we're all up under these curses together. Grew up in single parent households. Guess what? The Lord always made a way.
always.
Exactly, bro. My mother, she was a mother of 4 children all by herself. Never went to bed hungry, not one night. It's because of his mercies we're not consumed. So what makes you think he's going to change now, man? So we got to have this faith, something that pleases the Lord. And this is why the Lord is coming back to destroy this place, because they ain't got no faith in the Most High.
And it's things like that, like kind of bolster your faith. Because it's like you think and realize, like, I done lived all my life, like how you said before, my mom was a single mom, she had 4 kids, and you always was fed. And it's just things like that. The Most High did that to me when I really didn't even have true faith in him yet. How much more that now I'm actually walking the commandments and actually believing in him. That's why we got. No, let me get Matthew 6. We got to get Matthew 6.
I got a precept if you
go ahead.
Yeah, it's powerful points. Like I said, it's definitely everybody can relate to that, especially if you're Black, Hispanic, Native American. We all grew up poor. I just slept head to foot in bed, slept on the floor, all that type of stuff. Slept with, my mom's friends' houses. All that stuff is just regular. So this power outage and like the food shortage in stores, like that's not necessarily the worst we've been through. Being homeless is a little bit more severe, but the Most High, like I said, always made a way for our people. Even in wickedness, like I said, he's not going to forsake us in a sense. He's going to leave you breadcrumbs to get to the truth. And that's where we're at today, whoever's watching this video. But this is the precept, Proverbs 29 and 25. The fear of man bringeth a snare. So we already know Esau is the main culprit of our most of our fears, whether it's a cop, whether it's a particular judge, if you're at court, any type of bill, even though he put us in debt, all that type of stuff. We fear these things, but we have to go through it because that's our judgment for disobeying them thousands of years ago as a people. But here's the rest of it. The fear of man bringeth a snare, but whoso putteth his trust in the Lord shall be safe. And that's what we hope for, man. That's where the faith comes in. We put trust. That's a synonym for faith in the Old Testament. Trust. We trust in the Most High. We know He's gonna provide for us. And what's the song? He's always on time. That's how.
Yep.
Remember, like I said, I was broke as hell. I'm like, damn, I don't know how I'm gonna get to work. I don't got no gas money. I checked my bank account. I'm like, I got a direct deposit for like $100-something. I'm like, what? Like, I don't know where this came from.
We're doing that too,
bro. I'm talking about 3 times, like 2 weeks in a row. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, Most I got something brewing for me. So it just sustained me until I got my job now. So I'm like, damn, that's kind of crazy. But the next verse, and this is our people's problem. Many seek the ruler's favor, but every man's judgment coming from the Lord. I wish my power was back on. I wish I had food on my table. I wish I could pay my rent. But hey, Most High, you got to put the Most High first in everything, period. Whether it's a relationship with your parents, your significant other, your job, your money situation, traveling, getting to and fro. All that stuff is up to the Most High because He can easily get you into a car accident. I drive every day. I'm like, man, the Most High got me. I ain't worried about no cars hitting me. Like, I don't got no insurance right now. I don't want to put it out there.
Hey, welcome to the fam, man.
Listen.
You see, Jake, we driving off,
Listen,
man.
I got into an accident. Like,
Stay riding dirty, man.
I got into an accident like 4 years ago. Cop pulled me over. Give me a license, registration. I'm like, all right, cool. I knew I didn't have my license was suspended, but I was already parked, so he can't do nothing. So he took my license. Like, you can't drive your car no more. I'm like, okay. But luckily, I had parked like a little bit away from him. So it was like I said, I got into an accident. So it wasn't my fault, but I'm like, fuck it, I need to go to work. I got out of my car, drove right off. I don't give a damn. And I didn't have a license for damn near a year. I didn't get pulled over that whole year. So I'm like, that's the type of faith I have. I'm like, man, the Most High ain't gonna have me get pulled over. I know He's gonna make a way for me to get back right. But like I said, the main point of this verse was the first part. Many seek the ruler's favor. That's our people's problem. They're looking for handouts. They're looking for things that's going to suffice and pacify them, like we say in was it Ecclesiastes 7:7, a gift destroyeth a heart. You want all these type of trinkets and like how it says in the parable of Lazarus, we have breadcrumbs and things like that, crumbs of the nations. That's not going to help us in the long run. That's going to blind you and turn you into a damn Christian. Love everybody type thing. That's ridiculous. We're not into that. Even if you got to, take advantage of some heathens, benefits, that's not a problem. But I'm not going to be buddy with them. I'm not going to be like, oh, man, now this is a good man. I've been wrong all this time. The Most High is not going to judge these people. Everybody can be saved. No. Whatever he feels not going to protect that Edomite or that heathen from the Most High's judgment. And if you want to collaborate with him, we already know what's going to happen with those people too.
Mm-hmm.
What does SICARRI do to collaborators, man?
You see, we got this curved knife, right? But yeah, you finished on that one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, watch this. I got a precept. It's gonna go right with what both of y'all said, especially what you said, Ayash. This is Romans chapter 5, verse 3. It says, "And not only so, but we glory in tribulations also, knowing that tribulation worketh patience, and patience experience, and experience hope." Right. Mm-hmm. So, like I said before, it's like when you go through these things, it kind of should bolster your faith, because it's like I seen the Lord make a way for me all my life. I'll experience all these things, so I should have patience in these tribulations, because if I actually have faith in the Lord, I have that earnest expectation to get delivered out of that situation. It's the same thing for all of us. We don't need to go to our oppressor. We don't need to seek. We don't need to seek what Esau is trying to do. The Lord is going to provide for us. Like the servants of the Lord shall eat.
That's right.
So let me go through this again, because this is really a key point, right? I'm reading it again. This is Romans chapter 5, verse 3. "And not only so, but we glory in tribulations also, knowing that tribulation worketh patience." Right? Patience. Now, going into patience, you can be more long suffering to a thing. Like us, since we all three of us on this video chat right now, and even Israel watching, we've all been through many struggles, right? We've been through a lot of struggles growing up. So when we get to this situation, this ain't nothing, bro. This ain't nothing to us. We've been days. There's been days where it's been a little tougher than others. We've been through the struggle just growing up being an Israelite under the curses. So we have patience. So we have a lot more patience than Edomites who are killing themselves over one day without eating.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't hear that news until y'all speak just now. That's crazy, bro.
It's really hilarious, to be honest.
It's beautiful.
Man.
But it's one of those things where it's like we got patience to deal with these things because we've been through it before. We've experienced it. That's why the next part is patience to experience the hope, right? Now, since we've been through all these experiences, we have patience through when we get changed to that lower state, or when we have to go without eating for a few days. We don't have as much food. We don't got electricity and stuff like that because we've been through this already. So all the experience goes into hope. Hope is a similitude to trusting the Lord, with a similitude to having faith. This bolsters our faith. This shows us, like, since the Lord did all these things for us without us not even deserving it, bro. We don't, to be honest, even now we still don't even deserve it, and the Lord still provides for us to this day. So that's why we have to have faith, to know that, like, when things like this happen, the Lord has something special for us, man.
That's right.
Hell, he can rain down manna again. We can eat it.
Yeah.
And I kind of hope we do because I want to see that.
Hey, that'd be powerful. I ain't gonna lie, that'd be powerful.
Super powerful.
Wander in the wilderness somewhere, all of a sudden you just see some stuff like dropping, like whoa.
Yeah. And that's
Go ahead.
Oh, my bad. You go ahead, huh?
Oh no, I was looking for a precept. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I was just about to say, man, whatever the Lord gives us, even if it's like a dry piece of morsel of bread or whatever, it's going to sustain us for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Just like it did Elijah. He allowed Elijah to be fed, with the ravens, and that bread lasted, for Elijah for a while. You had a precept?
I got a precept.
Okay, but did you want to read Matthew 6?
Yeah, I read Matthew 6.
Okay.
We got to read that. Matthew 6 and 30. Wherefore, if God so clothe the grass of the field, which today is, and tomorrow is cast into the oven, shall he not much more clothe you, O ye of little faith? Therefore take no thought, saying, what shall we eat, or what shall we drink, or withal shall we be clothed? For after all these things do the Gentiles seek. Why? Because the Gentiles is like, hey, you should eat them. That's freaking out right now, right?
Yep.
They're freaking out because why? They don't have a truly living God. They actually can't even have the faith of our God.
That's right.
Into our God, right? So that's why they freak out and they're stashing up toilet tissue and stuff like that and tripping in stores. That's why that's happening, because they don't. All the Gentiles seek after these things, and our people who actually don't have that faith, the true faith of Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, they're freaking out with them because they're under that Gentile mind state.
Yeah.
They learned that from the Edomites. They see them tripping, so they're gonna start tripping. Just like when Jake sees somebody running, they're gonna start running too, man. But yeah, I'm gonna keep going. For after all these things do the Gentiles seek, for your heavenly Father knoweth that ye have need of all these things. But seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. All these things shall be added unto you. Give me Asmaf, give me the servant shall eat, man.
Okay, bet.
And I'm gonna finish this out.
All right.
It says, take therefore no thought for tomorrow shall take thought for the things of itself. Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof. Basically, there's a lot of King's English right there, but basically it's saying tomorrow you're gonna have some kind of struggle tomorrow anyway. So it makes no sense to sit there and worry about what's gonna happen, what we're gonna do then, because tomorrow's gonna have its own type of trials.
Right.
So if you have faith in the Lord, you can get brought through all of them trials. If you do what? Seek the kingdom first and his righteousness. Everything should be added unto you. Why? Because the servants of the Lord shall eat.
Like Shakaman, Shakam said, he says, one day at a time.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's the gist of what he said. One day at a time.
Yep. Isaiah 65:13. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh power, behold, my servant shall eat, but you shall be hungry. I love it, man.
The servant shall eat, but you shall be hungry.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the you? The Israelites. You don't want to be servants unto the Lord.
Yep. And this is why we're going to eat and they're going to be hungry. This is Proverbs 20:4. It says, the sluggard will not plow by the region of cold, therefore he shall beg and harvest and have nothing. All right. So if you don't submit yourself to be a servant to the Most High God and actually put in the work right now, you're going to be begging, when we're harvested, man, cashing out that spiritual bank account, and even during the time of Jacob's trouble. It says, back to Isaiah 65, he says, behold, my servant shall drink and you shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but you shall be ashamed.
Shall be ashamed. You'll be looking dumb. You'll be looking stupid. Because why they eating, man? What they do? Hold on real fast.
Okay, but
because if you try to trust in the Edomites, go into a FEMA camp or some type of facility to think they're gonna serve you up hot meals 3 times a day, they might mess around, just do like some Hansel and Gretel type stuff. It might look nice on the outside. Go into that house, they might feed you cool for like I said 2-3 days. Then they might just starve you out till you succumb to that chip or that shot they want to give you. oh, okay, we gave you this many meals, but now what? We gotta put you to the test in this particular atmosphere. People don't think about that. They just think about the immediate gratification. Like on the opposite side, the Israelites might be on the outskirts, eating one meal a day, barely surviving for the first week. Then you might stumble upon some type of Walking Dead type stuff with a whole warehouse full of food, water, all that type of stuff, and you'll be good for months.
Yep.
That's hypothetical, but art imitates life, and sometimes it works that way. But I did have a precept. You was done with that?
Yeah, I was done with that.
Yeah, this is in Isaiah as well. Isaiah 26, future prophecy, and this is what
Isaiah 26.
Isaiah 26. You want to read it?
Okay. Yeah. What verse you want?
Just the first four verses.
Okay. Yeah. This is Isaiah 26 verse 1. In that day shall this song be sung in the land of Judah.
Mm-hmm.
We have a strong city. Salvation will Yahweh appoint for walls and bulwarks.
So if you read it in the NLT, it sounds a little bit better. It says,
Yeah, I'll pull it up.
Yeah, go ahead.
Isaiah 26 verse 1 in the NLT. In that day, everyone in the land of Judah will sing this song. Our city is strong. We are surrounded by the walls of God's salvation.
Yeah, man, that's powerful. So we're talking about the Israelites here. We are surrounded by the walls of God's salvation, meaning what? We're the only ones going to be protected and ruling in that particular time frame. We're the ones that's going to be. Actually, no, it's going to elaborate. Get to read the next two verses.
It says, verse 2 in the NLT.
Either one is fine.
Okay, verse 2 in the NLT. Open the gates to all who are righteous. Allow the faithful to enter.
Fine, allow the faithful to enter. That's the point. People act like, oh, you guys putting your trust in man, like talking about your Howard Shai, like OT only bug outs. Like, what's wrong with that? People have faith in Moses, right? People have faith in David. People have faith in Gideon. They tracked Gideon down after they kicked him out, didn't they? Isn't that what happened? Get this guy out of here. But oh man, we see them Philistines coming. Oh, the riders over there, and that's what we are. We gotta be riders in faith and trusting the Most High these last days. But I keep going on.
Verse 3. You will keep in perfect peace.
You will keep in perfect peace. That's what we're going to be in eventually. But like I said, as of right now, we're still in a peaceful state of mind because even though we know some of our people are being afflicted by this snowstorm in Texas, even in other parts of America and definitely in parts of the world, we're in dire straits and poverty. But those people that know about the truth and know that the Most High is dealing with them, we're in perfect peace because we know the further this place gets along and the further it goes down the drain, we know we're getting closer to our kingdom. And like I said, we're in peace because we know, hey, if we got to die for this truth, that'll be okay with us. We already know what's going to happen. The prophecies will unfold, what is doing this work, or whether somebody else got to fill in our shoes later on down the line. But keep going.
Verse 4. It says, trust.
You didn't read 3 all the way.
Salak. Verse 3 says, you will keep in perfect peace all who trust in you. All who trust in him. Go ahead. All whose thoughts are fixed on you.
That's the key point. That's what Matthew 6. That's a precept from Matthew 6 right there. All whose thoughts are fixed on the Most High Yahweh. Put the Most High first, and everything else is going to be added unto you, including that perfect peace. Man, go ahead.
And if you think about it, it's kind of like when Yahweh Shai wanted to see the faith of Peter when he was walking upon that sea. When Peter's eyes wasn't fixed on his salvation. On Yahweh Shai, what did he do? He sunk. Right? Because knowing that sea is a representation. Well, obviously that was a physical occurrence, but in a spiritual level, that sea would be a representation. You're sinking in the midst of these seas, man, in the midst of these nations.
Exactly. That's a powerful point. I ain't gonna lie, that's a powerful point you just brought up.
I'll praise it. It's verse 4. He says, trust in Yahweh always. For Yahweh power is the eternal rock.
Is the eternal rock. All the way from we left in Egypt, all the way to so-called 2021. He's still the God of Israel, man. And like I said, we need the elected 1/3 to be, gathered together in these last days, no matter what camp you're in, no matter what. If you're online, don't want to hit the streets, that's fine. The Most High can still, have you on that chariot. But, obviously we prefer brothers to be out on the streets and teach people that don't know better, that don't be on the internet all the time. Some people don't like social media. A lot of people that, hit the email as far as inquiring about the SICARRI school and joining and whatnot, they always tell me I don't have no social media. I'm like, all right, well that's kind of interesting, but they still interested. They heard about it somehow. That's the key point. But like I said, we want to be able to teach people to walk these laws out, because that's the main thing that got us in this predicament, as far as being at the bottom. So that's a precept I want to bring out. If you got some, you can go ahead.
God, well, low key, man, we could really just keep reading on, because this is
chapter. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, verse 5, he says, he humbles the proud. And who's the most proud, according to the book of Obadiah? Esau, man. We're going to always find a way to get back on this devil, right? Because, hey, listen, this is a beautiful thing that the Lord has just worked in front of your eyes, man, right? Waking you up to the fact to know who you are, and also to wake you up to know who your natural born enemy is, right? Like, what sense does it make to fight a spiritual warfare when you don't even know who your enemy is, right? Like that, you already know that you're destined to lose if you don't know who you're fighting against, right? So it says, humbles the proud and brings down the arrogant city. Right? Key word, city. All right, that's what America's known for, is for her different cities. And what did Baruch chapter 4 say? I'll get this Baruch 4.
Just like in Revelations, it's a great city.
Man, so many precepts, man. This Baruch 4. I'm gonna start at verse 31. It says, miserable are they that afflicted thee, and rejoice at thy fall. Right? And this is going to all these other nations, man, that afflicted us, because according to the book of First Maccabees chapter 2, there wasn't not one nation that has not spoiled the children of Israel. All nations have partook of the spoils of us, man. Right? So now the Lord is making them miserable that afflicted us. He allowed them a small window of time to enjoy their delicacies that was built off our back. But now it's time for the roles to be reversed. Verse 32, miserable are the cities which thy children served. Right? So miserable is Dallas right now. Because guess what? We used to serve these cities, man. Right? And we still serve them. Jake over here working at damn McDonald's or whatever, man. Right? Or you might work wherever you might work, man, in a whether it may be a white collar position or a blue collar position. Guess what? You're still subject to this man, paying taxes unto this man. Right? So miserable are the cities which thy children served. Miserable is she that received thy sons. Why is that? Because according to Exodus chapter 12, the law, it says that if a slave is found, let me get that real quick. Let me get that. It's Exodus 12 and 26. Is it 26? You know what I want to talk about? You shouldn't take.
What's there?
Talking about slaves. Taking a slave unjustly or whatever. Talking about the heathen nations. Is it Exodus 12? Oh, Exodus 22. It's a lot. Exodus 22, 16. Oh man, I'm tripping.
Exodus 21 is talking about the slave.
That's it. Exodus 21. Exodus 21 and 16. It says, It says, and he that stealeth a man, right? Did not Esau steal us off the west coast of Africa? It says, and selleth him, right? And that's why you got your last name, right? Because you were sold unto whoever was the highest bidder on you. It says, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. That's why, going back to Baruch, because we're going to be found in Esau's hand, man, in this land. That's why it says in Baruch chapter 4, it says, miserable is she that received thy sons. Because when Yahushua comes back, he's going to find America's hand, still engulfing us. All right. It says, for as she rejoiced at thy ruin and was glad of thy fall, so shall she be grieved of her own desolation. And you can see that right now, because the Lord is making the nation of Edom and these other nations desolate right now by using his spokesman in these last days to expose them, to finally show who these people are and their condemnation according to the scriptures, man. Right? So this is just the beginning of their desolation, because we was desolate at one point. The Lord, literally, when you read the book of Nahum chapter 3, right, and Lamentations, it talks about how he stripped the nation of Israel bare, basically showed our nakedness to the nations, showing our shame to the nations. Right. So now it's happening to our rivals. Verse 34. For I will take away the rejoicing of her great multitude. Right. And you don't hear America rejoicing anymore. The very fact that these people are walking into restaurants and bars and clubs with diapers on their faces, it's proving that they're not rejoicing anymore, man.
Yeah, that's a great point, man. Because you don't see America just prospering like they usually do.
Yep.
Like it's just a state of just like gray and freaking. You know that face. When white people look at you, they make that one face. You know that emoji where it's like it's a face, but it's like a straight line.
Right. Yep. Oh man, yeah, there's a time they say hi, pal. They don't even say that no more.
Yeah,
they just look at you, pal, man.
You're really flipping out if you don't wear a mask these days. It's like, bro, like, do you realize like this little piece of cloth is not going to protect you from this virus? Like, it doesn't make sense,
man.
I be saying this all the time. Like, man, where's the toxic waste bins for these masks? They're all over the floor everywhere. I can just take it off, throw it on the ground, and keep it moving. Right. But supposedly I'm at risk because I'm not wearing it. Like, that's ridiculous.
You know something funny about that too?
What's up?
People don't even talk about all the masks are woven, right?
Yeah.
There's holes in between all the little woven parts that you really kind of can't see with the naked eye.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, the virus is like fractions smaller than that hole.
Yeah.
So if I were to sneeze and I had the virus and I sneezed through my mask, it's still going to go through the mask.
Exactly.
Some of it's going to get on the woven part, but like for the most part, all of it's going to go through them holes. Like it's small. It's kind of like a mosquito going through a chain link fence.
Wow. That's a annihilation. I mean, correlation.
You're really just wasting time, bro. Because the thing about it is, you're probably just gonna get it anyway if you ain't already had it. Let's be honest.
You was done on your point?
Yeah, I was done.
God. Verse 34 says, "For I will take away the rejoicing of her great multitude." And her pride. You see that? Her pride is going to show you that there's a nation that's known to be, the apex, or the epitome of being prideful, which is America. It says, "And her pride shall be turned into mourning." And when is that going to happen? Verse 35. "For fire shall come upon her from the everlasting." See that? And what's that fire going to be in the form of? ICBM missiles, intercontinental ballistic missiles, man.
That's right.
Right. Just like Revelation 18.
You see? So y'all worrying about, is the snow going to melt? Hell yeah, it is.
That's right. It's
going to melt, man.
Easy.
It says
instant gratification.
What you say?
It's an instant gratification.
You see? It says, "For fire shall come upon her from the everlasting, long to endure." See that? It's going to be a long duration of time when this place is just up in flames, man, and kindling. You over there in the Holy Land, in the kingdom, and you still see the smoke ascending up, man. It says, "And she shall be inhabited of devils for a great time." It says, "O Jerusalem, look about thee toward the east, and behold the joy that cometh unto thee from God." Let's look at this joy. Verse 37. "Lo, thy sons, whom thou sent away." So talking about our motherland, she sent us away. Why? Because we defiled the land when we was there. Right? It says, "They come gathered together." Right? See that? They come gathered together. How do we become gathered together? According to Genesis 49, by the tribe of Judah, Yahweh Shah. Says they come gathered together from the east and to the west by the word of the Holy One. You see that? That's how we're coming gathered together. And look at us tonight, man. And it's not just us. You best believe that there's brothers all over the internet right now, flooding the internet, and even on the corners. Guess what? They're gathered together by the word. And this is how we're going to come back into our land as it's prophesied. Look at the white man. Are they gathered together by the word? No.
Absolutely not.
So this is how you know we're the people of the book, man.
Absolutely not.
Says they come gathered together by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the glory of Yahweh. All right, because it actually pleases us, man, when the Most High gets the glory. All right. And y'all had something?
Not yet. Hold on, let me see.
No.
Okay, good. I got a precept. It's second Esdras, right, to further expound upon why this place is because this is a foreign concept to a lot of Jakes, man, who just can't see past America. They think America is just the end all be all. You know, once America goes down, well, ain't nobody else coming up after. You know, let's go just show you how much people have put their stock in this place, right? So, and this is why this land is about to be greatly troubled. In 2 Ezra chapter 15, I'm starting at verse 18. It says, "For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled." You see that? That's why. That's why Dallas and Fort Worth and all these other places in Texas, hell, even Saudi Arabia. Look at this. I already got the link pulled up. Saudi Arabia experiences unusually heavy snowfall, man.
That's crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
Saudi Arabia, man. Right? So this is why these places are being troubled by the Most High, because of their pride. Right? It says, "For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed." And hey, look, you know, like I told y'all about my profession, man, like all we've been doing is making calls to these homes, you know, where pipes have busted, you know, and their homes are being destroyed. You know, you got water flooding, you know, the whole house. Currently, as we speak, there's an apartment right here in Dallas, man. And I was just looking on Facebook before I got on, and man, water from the sprinkler system was just pouring. It was flooding the whole apartment, man. All right.
Yeah, I just seen that literally. Like,
you saw that too?
Yeah, I seen it. It was crazy.
Yep.
Like, it is empty a pool. Like, damn, that's wild to me, bro.
Yep. Yeah. And it says the houses shall be troubled and men shall be afraid. You know, so these so-called macho men who's acting like they big and bad, you know, going to the gym, getting your buff on, you know, thinking that you're just so high and mighty. Listen, you're gonna be afraid when all hell breaks loose. There's not gonna be not one knee that is not smoting together because of the fear of Yahweh.
And you know what they know, man? Like, I saw a video on Instagram. It said, "I'm an Edomite and my kingdom is over."
Yeah,
I seen that too.
What's that? That was you?
Yeah, I posted that.
It said, "I'm an Edomite and my kingdom is finished." My name is Tom. I'm an Edomite and my kingdom is finished.
I saw
it. Hilarious, bro.
I wonder what camp he came across.
Oh my God, bro! It was a whole bunch of them.
It was little clips pieced together. It was great. It was great.
That's funny, bro. I want to wake up. I want an alarm that just plays that video. Wake up.
Had a SICARRI intro. Some of the videos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, they know. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. This Luke 21:26, and this is the words of our Lord Yahweh Shah speaking. He says, "Men's heart failing them for fear." You see that? So men's heart is going to fail them for fear.
Yeah.
You know, your lady's coming up to you. You know, if the Holy Spirit ain't dealing with you in the last days, right? And your lady comes up, or your little kid comes up asking, "Daddy, what should we do right now?" Hey, ain't no telling what that man might do. He might kill you, you know, just out of perplexity. You know, he ain't gonna know what to do.
Oh, I don't know what to do.
You know,
one less mouth to feed type shit. Like, bro, like, why would you do that?
Real talk though, bro. You know, he might just kill his kids just so they don't have to die from hunger. Because I was watching, because brothers from you know, camp I was watching, they made a good point, man, and they brought out the scripture in Lamentations. I'm gonna bring it out real quick. Lamentations 3, and it says, and maybe verse chapter 4. Let's see, talking about the famine. Let me turn to my Bible. I know exactly where it is. And we're gonna go back. It's a lot. Lamentations 4:9. It says, "They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger." See that? Because you know it's a horrific process, you know, whenever somebody's just literally, you know, their insides are just, you know, eating them up, man, eating them alive. You know, so the Bible says, "Better are they that are slain with the sword than with hunger." So that's why it's not a far-fetched idea to believe that, fathers and even mothers might kill their little ones just so their little ones don't have to feel that pain of being famished to death. Right? It says, "For these pine away, stricken through for want of the fruits of the field." All right. So you're going to literally, want, what you used to eat, those things that you used to eat. Verse 10, it says, "The hands of the pitiful women have sodden down their," oh, look at that. I didn't even know that's right there. It says the hands of the pitiful women has sought in their own children. That's talking about, hey, that's those curses, man.
Yeah, that's the. I was about to say that's the curses.
That's those curses, because it talked about how, especially during the siege of 70 AD, our men and our women used to eat our own kids just to stay alive. And this is going to happen on a global level to all nationalities, right? Because these curses are going to, hit our enemies too. Esau, they eat anything anyway, especially Moabites.
Look at Agatha in the chat, man.
What you say?
he said Phoenix looking pretty good right about now. I'm like, shoot it. Finally.
For real, finally.
Like 200 degrees over there 24/7. They're probably catching a break and having it in the 50s or something.
For real.
Oh, hey, Life of Carlos said he lived in Georgia and he said he met cannibals. Yeah, man.
Oh, Lord. I believe it in Georgia, man. That's the
finish, man.
That's the finish, bro.
It says, they were their meat in the destruction of the daughter of my people. See that? So their kids was the meat that they ate, man. All right. And that's, you look at any history book, that has happened time and time again, And this is going to happen on a major scale in these last days.
Look at this guy. He said it's 66 degrees. That's not catching a break, man.
He said 66 degrees.
He said 66 degrees.
Man.
Yeah, it'd be 66 degrees. Freaking, that's like springtime for us.
For real. For real.
It's about 50 degrees out in Cali.
Jeez.
It's colder at night though. It's probably like 40 degrees, but it'll be like maybe 75 at the highest, but it ain't bad though.
Jeez, man, it's been like 2, maybe 3 degrees out here.
That's crazy.
Where I had to put my because we was out of power, I had to put all the stuff in my freezer that I wanted to keep outside, keep it frozen.
Yeah, hey man, that's beneficial, I guess,
Hey, this is a melon. You guys have some more precepts?
Yeah, I had a precept, but was you done?
I mean, yeah, I had a precept, but you go ahead.
So hold on real quick.
Are you good, bro?
This is about our people, obviously. That's obviously the subject of everything. Because we know Esau and these other nations are going to feel the wrath of the Most High. But it's mainly about our people. So let me pull this up. This is Sirach 30. Sirach 30. And let's start at 9. Let me see it in GNT, actually.
Okay.
Sirach 30. Sirach 30 and 9. If you pamper your child and play with him, he will be a disappointment and a source of grief. So we can take this in multiple ways. Like, obviously, people have a stigma, or we have a stigma about being rude and yelling at people for no reason. But this is in comparison to how we've been dealing with the Most High and how we're not keeping the laws. Like, we got to be stern and and yell at our people. That's how you get somebody's attention. So if we pamper these brothers and sisters walking by thinking it's a game, like I said, I tell you this all the time. We don't know when we're going to see these people again. Yeah. This will be our only opportunity to give them a piece of the word, of the Most High. Drop a little breadcrumb on their behalf, plant a seed in that particular instance. We don't know if they're going to take advantage of the flyers, go research for themselves. It very rarely happens, Usually people coming out of the blue already know what's going on. Those are the people that inquire and, actually want to pursue the truth and sustain it. But like I said, another way is obviously with your own children. If you pamper your own child, spoil them, like people say, that's what it is, to pamper them, spoiling them. Most of these Edomite kids, yelling at their mom and telling them they're going to kill them. Like, we don't do that. we don't do that in our community, trust me. Just imagine saying that to my mom. I'll be like, oh, I'm out of here. But I'm just saying, like, that's just going to show the scriptures is saying, like, okay, well, we can't treat our people like they're just helpless and they need to be holding their hand along the way, because time's of the essence right now. So let me just keep going. If you pamper your child, this is in G&T, Sirach 30:9 in G&T. If you pamper your child and play with him, he will be a disappointment and a source of grief. And that's how the Most High feels about it, because we weren't pampered necessarily, but we were in the wilderness. We thought we had it made in the shade. We wanted to go back to Egypt because we thought we were going to starve to death, but then the Most High gave us bread and manna and things like that. Then Moses goes up to Mount Sinai. Well, we made it in the shade. Let's make this calf now. It's crazy, man. That's why we agreed to the Most High wanted us to get destroyed right then and there. But let's keep reading. Laugh with him now, and one day you will have to cry over him, grinding your teeth in regret. So Most High is grinding his teeth in regret because he's like, man, he put us in the most prominent position as a chosen people of God, put us in slavery, brought us out of slavery. We did it again. He not necessarily he was Most High wasn't pampering us, but since he chose us, being the seed of Abraham, getting the promises, we didn't take it as such. We entered into the covenant and took advantage of it, thinking we could do whatever we want. Mm-hmm. So it says, verse 11, don't give him freedom while he is young, and don't overlook what he does wrong. You can't overlook what our people do wrong. Every mistake we have to make, just like it says in what is it, Leviticus 5? If you see a sin, if you see a soul sin, like people talking about snitching, but in this truth, we have to bring it to somebody's attention. Yeah, whether it's in private, whether it's to an elder, whether it's a council situation, on Facebook, hey, you're going off. You're representing the nation wrong. You're making the Most High look bad. Yeah. That type of thing. Don't overlook what people do wrong, because who knows if they're going to get right if you don't say anything. Some things you might have to say to hurt people's feelings. It's not about their feelings. It's about their soul at the end of the day. Right.
It's kind of like let me say this real quick. It's kind of like you see somebody in the street, right? And you see a truck coming, you ain't about to just like give them the smooth, hey man, you might want to just get out of the way. No, you're gonna yell at them because the truck's coming.
Exactly.
Like you obviously you don't see the truck, and I see the truck, and I see your life is in danger. So I'm gonna yell at you and say, get out of the way because the truck is coming.
That part.
And Jake, you know what Jake be doing? Like, oh, I got time to move. That's what Jake be doing. I got time.
Exactly. Crazy. Let me just tie my shoe real quick and see if the truck's gonna slow down for me. No.
I'm gonna repent tomorrow.
Exactly.
The Lord gonna repent of that grace He got for you too.
Right.
Put it right. You want to say it now, or you want me to? It's only two.
Okay. Yeah. You go ahead, bro. Well, it was talking about it was going with what Yadi was saying.
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right. Yeah. This is Luke 19:44, because Jake just doesn't know his time. It says, I'm starting at verse 42, saying, if thou hadst known, even thou, at least in this thy day, the things which belong unto thy peace, but now they are hid from thy eyes. Right? This was a time with the Lord. He actually took away our vision, man. All right. He says, for the day shall come upon thee that thine enemies shall cast a trench about thee and compass thee round about and keep thee in on every side. That sounds like quarantine to me, but this is talking about 7 years. Same thing's happening, man. Verse 44, and shall lay thee even with the ground and thy children within thee, and they shall not leave in thee one stone upon another. Why? Because thou knowest not the time of thy visitation. And this is why, horrible things, why Jake always gets the blunt force of things, because hell, us, man, especially as Judites, we have a horrible correlation with time. Bro.
Is that what we calling it now?
Yep.
That's the biblical way of saying CP time.
Exactly, CP time. Yep. We tell you we're gonna do something 30 minutes. Hey, it's gonna be 2 hours from now.
Around the corner.
Al-Shah called us out on this years ago. He says, because you didn't know the time of your visitation, all these things are gonna happen. But kind. It's a lot.
That was a good one.
Where are we at?
Sirach 30:12.
Oh, in G&T. Okay,
yeah, G&T. Whip him while he is still a child and make him respect your authority. Ooh. That's what Most High been doing to us. Yo. Even though people might not say the Bible's real, but when they get shot or whether they got some type of ailment, oh God, pray for me. Like, who you praying to? Like, what are you talking about? I see it all the time online. People be doing all type of wickedness, posting all type of weird videos and scantily clad women posts. Like, come on, bro. Like, you can't put no scripture with no damn lingerie on in a post. Like, that's crazy.
Said God first.
Yeah,
God first, yeah.
bro. It's crazy to me. It's insane. And and that's people got it backwards. Like you said, people gonna wait to the very last bitter end and then pray to the Most High. Like, wait a minute, he don't know you. Who are you? You didn't do anything. You don't love the Most High. We already know the precept. You love the Most High by keeping His commandments.
Right.
So it's like it says, whip him while he is still a child and make him respect your authority. We got to make people that walk by us respect our authority. They don't know as much as us. There's no offense to them, but as far as the spiritual walk and what it takes to be righteous in the eyes of God and sustain this, endure this chastening, and obviously knowing what to expect and seeing through the lies and nonsense that Esau puts on the TV and music and whatever the case may be, in the food and mixing clothing, like you got to know what's going on in every aspect of life. I got a precept for that too, since Sirach.
Okay.
In reference to that, as far as making them respect us, because we know what we have to say is going to assist them in some way, shape, or form spiritually. And like I said, there's celebrities coming into this walk talking about Yahweh Shai and wearing fringes now. Like, they know how serious it is, and it's a spiritual thing. The Most High put the spirit on people to wake up, and like I said, our authority and us being the new not, I won't say new age, but basically this apostles at this particular time, in a sense, and disciples, we have to be the ones to be the forerunners of this truth and bring our people into the truth and make sure they on the right path. If you don't, he will be stubborn and disobedient and cause you nothing but sorrow. And that's what the 2/3 bring. Nothing but sorrow to the Most High. That's why there's no hope. I won't say there's no hope, but there's no redemption for them in this walk in these last days. They're going to have to be reborn in the kingdom in their right mind in the new covenant. Yeah. But unfortunately, they're going to have to be judged with America and these damn Edomites. Verse 13 is the last one. So discipline your son and give him work to do, or else he will be an embarrassment to you. So what's our job? We're putting in the work 10 toes down in the streets, whatever city we're in as an Israelite, whatever camp you're in. Even if you have a online ministry, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but we prefer, as Yahweh Shai says, to bid people to the marriage on the highways and byways, man. Because nobody's going to look for you on the internet if they don't know who you are. And if the internet shuts down, guess what? That's going to be even worse if you're only online doing things on Clubhouse and things like that.
You getting out of order on Clubhouse.
It's just like ridiculous. People think some type of online internet ministry is going to work in the long haul. Like, no. You gotta be where people is at. Rub shoulders with people. Tell people their judgments, whether if they ain't gonna repent or not. But and that's the last part. Like it says, or else he will be an embarrassment to you. Like I said, the Most High is going to embarrass you by making sure that missile hits your top of your head, man. That's what's going to happen. Yeah. But, let me get this other precept.
Okay, God. Can I add something real quick especially on verse 13?
Go ahead.
I like that part because it says, "So discipline your son and give him work to do." Well, once we repented, all right, and we took that position as being servants to Yahweh Yahweh Shai, what was the first thing Yahweh Shai gave to us? Talents. He gave us. You can read that in Luke 19. He basically gave us, a particular work to do, and he expects you to multiply it by the time he comes back. And if not, he's going to require it of you. And so him giving us work is literally him giving us discipline. Because, and this is why, you see brothers, that's actually diligent and faithful in his walk. They've cultivated, a great form of discipline. They go to work, then they come home instantly. They get back on their studies, and then even when they're at work, guess what? They're meditating upon the word. And this is because the Lord gave us a work to do. And so by default, it makes you disciplined, and it will show if you're not disciplined when you're actually out there trying to do the work.
Yeah, this is the precept I was looking for. Sirach 4:20. Observe the opportunity and beware of evil, and be not ashamed when it concerns thy soul. And like I said, it goes hand in hand with, I think, the first precept we brought out. And obviously, I think it says, was it Sirach 39:1? We got to be occupied in this prophecy. And obviously, if you're occupied in prophecy, you're going to beware the evil, because what? The prophecies are going to tell you what signs we're in. And obviously, we know we're in the fifth trumpet. And like I said, there's things that have to come to pass before this the coming of Yahweh Shai. So all the signs and wonders the Most High sent Yahushua to perform, and obviously the signs that He said are going to come in the last days, as far as earthquakes in diverse places. You know, all these type of natural disasters. You know, and obviously it's not necessarily natural disaster in Texas, but it's something that's unprecedented. And like I said, also in Saudi Arabia, it's like we got to observe what's going on and be not ashamed, like I said, when it concerns your soul. Concerning your soul, obviously, if you're constantly in sin, not thinking you do anything wrong. Like I said, that's what we got to, as I said before in the other verse, we got to basically make sure our authorities is being promoted. And like I said, as far as the spiritual sense, because a lot of people believe in the Bible, a lot of people believe in God. You don't have to go to church to believe in God. But once you hear the truth and Most High make sure it resonates with that particular person, we have to be the ones to make sure, hey, this is the right way to go. Like it says in Isaiah 30, Spirit upon you, say this is the way. Hey, we're the ones that's going to tell you the teachers ain't removed to their corner anymore. We're the ones that's going to be the ones teaching you if you sustain this. So you got to have concern in your own soul and obviously the people that you care about. And we love our people so much. Hey, we're doing this work for free, period. If you want to give alms, donations, cool. But we're doing this thing for free no matter what time it is, no matter what setting we're in, man. We love brotherhood. We love our people so much. And like I said, somebody got to do it. Like all the people on the earth, not too many people, not enough people know about this truth, period. Even though we have our own community, there's the 104,000 ain't sealed yet. That's how you know there's not enough people that's woke.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. But I want to highlight one of your points. Osmo, give me 2 Timothy's.
Bet.
I posted this earlier, 2 Timothy's 2:19.
Beautiful.
Because, like you said before, like everybody, you don't need a church or anything to actually believe in God. But a lot of our people don't know the right way. Like we are here pointing our people to the right way, because everybody say, "Oh, I believe in Jesus, or I believe in Christ." But do you though? Because like I've been wanting to ask this question, like, what does it mean to, like, y'all say y'all are Christians? What does it mean to be that? Because when you look in the scriptures of people who are demonstrating works or actions that show that they do that, they're departing from evil. They're departing from the world, and the scriptures say that. Go ahead and get that.
Yeah, this book of 2 Timothy, chapter 2:19. Nevertheless, the foundation of Yahweh standeth sure, having this seal: the Lord knoweth them that are his. And let everyone that nameth the name of Hamashiach depart from iniquity.
So anybody who wants to say they're a Christian or say they believe in Christ, you have to depart from iniquity. That's how you know. That's how you know somebody who's of God. That's why I said be continually with a godly man whom thou knowest, who keeps the commandments. That's how you know somebody who's actually walking in the Spirit. Somebody who's actually of what you want to say a Christian. Those who are of Christ, who are of Mashiach Yahushua, because they actually keep the law, statutes, and commandments. They departed from the world. They overcame the world. They became a pure vessel. Matter of fact, keep going to the next verse.
Okay, bet. Verse 20. But in a great house there are not only vessels of gold and of silver, but also of wood and of earth, and some to honor and some to dishonor.
Some to honor and some to dishonor. Now, the honorable ones are ones that can be brought through fire, like silver and gold. Those two metals can be brought through fire. Now, as far as wood and just ground, or like earth is going to like clay, like those can't make it through fire. Those are gonna be the ones burned up through fire, burned up in the fire. That's gonna be what you would say the 2/3. That's the dishonorable vessels. Now, when you come into the truth and actually believe in Yahweh Shai, you depart from iniquity. You become like the vessels of gold and silver, as long as you remain and steadfast in the faith. Keep going.
Verse 21. If a man therefore purge himself of these, he shall be a vessel unto honor, sanctified, and meet for the master's use, and prepared unto every good work.
And meet for the master's use, or good for the master's use, good to be used, right? Because how is the Lord going to use us? By bringing us through the fire. You can't bring clay and wood through fire. That's impossible. It'll perish. Now, silver and gold can survive through fire and be molded in whatever vessel that it's in, because it's going to be melted into like a malleable metal. It's like how silver and gold, you can mold it into gold bars and mold it into this and that, but it's still going to remain gold. Now, when you burn wood and burn wood and clay, it's just going to just evaporate. It's not going to exist anymore. It's going to perish. Now, when we break off our impurities, we become like that silver and gold. Just like how it says in Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8, we'll be brought through the fire.
Right.
He'll try man as gold is tried. We'll be meat for the master's use, because that's how he's going to use us. And we're going to be prepared to every good work. Also showing you that you have to have works. Be prepared unto every good work.
Mm-hmm.
I think there was one more verse on it.
Okay, bet. Verse 22, flee also youthful lusts, but follow righteousness, faith, charity, peace with them that call on the Lord out of a pure heart.
And hold up, did you stop right there? The thing is talking about purging is the first part, youthful lust and follow righteousness. Youthful lust is the will, us rotting the will of the Gentiles. When we did the banquetings, we worshiped these holidays, we hated each other. That's the thing we have to flee from. That's the thing that makes us an earthly vessel. Or really, that's really kind of comparing carnal to spiritual, really, if you think about it. That's us coming out of that carnal mind and becoming spiritual. That's following and attending to righteousness. So you can be tried like gold is tried and be brought through the fire. You can go get your precept.
And and one little point I just kind of wanted to touch on was like Brother Yachty said, how we're meat for the master's use. Well, first you got to be sanctified, meaning set aside, and how does that happen? John 17:17, he says, and let me get that real quick because the Lord can say it better than I can. In John 17:17, it says, sanctify them through thy truth. Thy word is truth, right? Sanctify goes into separating, right? The Lord, once he calls you into this, he actually separates you from, yourself, the things you used to do, and also the people that you used to be around, right? And many of us, we're testators to that fact. This is why, family members, some of the family members we don't talk to, anymore, or close friends. It's not that we actually try to make a deliberate attempt, to cut them off, like, oh, let me delete this person out my phone. No, it literally just happened all through the spirit, because your spirit just couldn't resonate with them. Their vibration they was giving out wasn't matching the vibration of these scriptures, man. So
that's right.
So, so the Lord separated you so you can be furnished unto all good works, so you can be meat for the master's use. Now, and who serves the master? The servant, right? So with you understand that now you're a servant to Yahweh Shah, there's one mindset that you got to remember, that you got to have. This is Luke chapter 17, verse 7. It says, when a servant comes in from plowing or taking care of sheep, right? Those are two things that the Lord says that we must do, right? You got to plow the fields, plow the soils of your heart, and you got to plow your people, get their hearts prepared for, whoever may plant a seed, or whether you may be the one planting the seed or watering it. Says, so when a servant comes in from plowing a seed or taking care of sheep, another commandment that our Lord gave us, right? In John 21, he says, if you love me, feed my sheep, right? Which is what we're doing tonight. But this is our mindset. It says, does his master say, come in and eat with me? He says, and who's speaking right here? This is Yahweh Shah, right? So this is what Yahweh Shah is saying, verse 8. He says, no. He says, prepare my meal, put on your apron, and serve me while I eat. Then you can eat later, right? So this is a mindset that we must have, man. Yahweh Shah comes first, right? And then we understand that our master is going to feed us after we get done doing what we got to do first. Verse 9, it says, and does the master thank the servant for doing what he was told to do? Of course not. See that? It says, does the master thank the servant what he was told to do? Of course not. Why? Because this is your duty. Right? When the Lord woke you up to the fact that you're an Israelite, right? And there's a work to be done, you're not doing a favor to the Lord by putting on some fringes and, you going to some barbecues or what, or whatever, No, this is by him calling you into this service to work for him. This is you, this is a peace offering unto the Lord. This is the least we can do. And really, this ain't even enough.
Facts. Bring that out. This is nowhere near
It's
enough.
crazy. It's like as soon as he brings you into this truth, you immediately owe an paid back. Like you owe him so much that you'll never be able to pay it back in a lifetime.
God. Yep. and this is that's a lot.
Oh, you good? You good?
Yep. And this is why it's a beautiful thing that we're not going to be justified, and saved by our works. It's all because of the works of Yahweh Shah, man. Right. But Yahweh Shah commissioned us and still commanded us to do a work to the best of our ability. All right, so verse 10, he says, in the same way, when you obey me, you should say, we are unworthy servants who have simply done our duty. All right, and this is the mindset that you got to have when you understand that, you know, you've been sanctified and now you're being used by your master. You got to have that mindset that you're just an unworthy servant, because at any time, man, right, the Lord can put out your candlestick if you don't walk worthy in this occupation. Let me grab that real quick. It's Revelation 2 and 5.
And that's bad too, because like every time we see that happen, it's always just the worst. Now you're teaming up with the Christians, pulling up on Sonetta show lying.
Bro, that was insane. Like,
you know,
if we had, I mean, like I said, it's not important, but if you just play that video back point for point, it's just so many contradictions and lies. It's just sick. Like, you're listening to it like, wow, like this is just how far the Most High can just drag you in the opposite direction and make it seem like you're in the spirit still. Like it's literal blindness. It's
like you go and team up with people who avidly speak against the Bible. Like like that's the one thing you don't understand. Like you literally are avidly going up against people who are enemies to the faith to go on here and lie to us, to disparage the faith. Like that's what the Lord can do to you. He can have you doing that. Now you think it's salvation for everybody. You hit your wife. I mean, things like that happens.
He's been saying, "Oh, you got to be walking Christ like Christ didn't do nothing you're doing, bro.
Yeah, nothing.
He wasn't lying and slandering and spreading falsehoods and bearing false witness and just begging for attention. Like, nah, bro. Like he was trying to shy away from attention. Honestly, he was doing miracles and trying to skate into the cuts.
Yeah,
I got precept on that. That's beautiful.
Yeah, before you get that, because it's like, when did you see Christ? When you see Christ teaming up with Tyree. Tyree to come up against the
real. Are you kidding me, bro? Like, really? Oh, now it's time to save these Gentiles since Israel rejected me. No.
Oh, you had a precept, Yachty?
No. No.
Okay, God. Let me get this. Is it in 2 Thessalonians 4? Let me see. It talks about
what you looking for?
It talks about eating your bread with quietness or something along that lines. Let me look at my Bible. I know exactly where it is, because you made a powerful point, bro. You know how Yahweh always stayed, out of the cut.
Yeah.
Here you go. 2 Thessalonians 3. 2 Thessalonians 3 and 11. All right, because once you understand that now you're a servant, servants, right? If you always, busy yapping or running your mouth, or in this man's affairs or that woman's affairs, that means that you're a servant that's not even serving, man. You're not working, right?
Exactly.
Like
he's not on the streets no more. So I mean,
it's a lot. What you say?
I would say he's not on the streets anymore. Like, I mean, go ahead.
Because like my mom used to say, and a lot of Issachar likes to say, if you got time to lean, you got time to clean. Right?
Yo, that's a good one.
Yeah. So this 2 Thessalonians 3 and 11, for we hear that there are some which walk among you disorderly. And this goes to show you that they actually had that spirit of Babylon upon them, because Babylon is, if you translate it, or if you go into the definition of it, it means confusion, which means out of order. All right. So you got the spirit of Babylon on you. It says working not at all. Look at that. They're unuseful. They're unprofitable servants. It says, but are busybodies. See that? You're a busybody, man. You're not like Yahweh Shah. Yahweh Shah was about his father's work. He came on earth, to do what he had to do. He died for his people. He had to do what he had to do. And then he went back to the Father. Verse 12, it says, now them that are such we command and exhort by our Lord Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, that with quietness they work. See that? Because that's how you're going to be. That's how you're going to get the most.
That's powerful. Yeah.
That's how you're going to get the most out of any servant. Hey, just shut up and get this job done. Well, that's what the Lord has commanded us, man. Right? Just be about your father's business and get about the cut. Don't be worried about what this Hebrew doing or what that Hebrew doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Get 1 Thessalonians 4 and 11.
Okay, Con. It says that with quietness they work, and eat their own bread. And that bread is talking about that bread Yahweh Shah is giving us. Eat this truth, man, in quietness. You know, now obviously you got to issue it out, but that's part of you doing the work. But you got to do that work in quietness. What do you want me to get?
First
Oh, man,
Thessalonians 4
I'm
and
thinking
11.
of something too. Oh,
What you say?
point. I'm thinking of something right now. Hold on, let me think. Go ahead though.
Okay, bet. Yeah, this First Thessalonians chapter 4 and 11, and that you study to be quiet, beautiful, and to do your. Were you going to expound upon it, Yachty?
Oh, I'm gonna let you finish it.
Okay, and to do your own business.
To do your own business, man. We're about you. Like, I know we have to rebuke our brothers. You try to do a rebuke video on us. I mean, that should be the end of it. Not you dedicate your entire social media, multiple social media presences to try to come against somebody. That's not biblical, bro.
Yeah, it's not profitable either. Like,
or profitable.
Spoil some people's work. Like, just like how I said to the disciples, like, he's preaching Christ over there, but he's not with us. If you're preaching the same, quote unquote Christ that you believe in, like I said, we don't have to agree, but go ahead and preach over there and draw people to you, like it says.
Yeah, Peter even said, like, should we stop them? Like, should we forbid them? He's like, no, if he's not against us, then he's with us.
Bro, exactly. We're not worried about nobody that slanders the SICARRI or, mainly the deacon in chief or guerrilla Hebrew, as they call him. Like, we're not worried about that. They're not even worried about that. If they responded to every single thing they heard, they'd be online 24/7. They wouldn't even have time to go to the streets.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous, bro.
But you got to rebuke your neighbor.
Now there's something wrong with ties. Like, bro, come on, bro. Stop.
Stop.
Stop. Man, I can't think. I was thinking of something. Select. I had another precept, though, in some reference to something that was said earlier about how Christians are like quote unquote hypocrites and they don't necessarily love the Most High and follow Christ for real. So it's 1 Peter 2 and 20.
Beautiful.
Then on down. So you can read it if you want.
Okay, but it's 1 Peter chapter 2 verse 20. For what glory is it if when you be buffeted for your faults, you shall take it patiently?
Yeah, take it patiently, like you're being chastised for it, like a nation of Israel is. Go ahead.
It says, but if when you do well and suffer for it, you take it patiently, this is acceptable with the Most High.
It's acceptable with God, just like it says in Baruch 3rd chapter. Suffer patiently, chastising the Most High brought upon us. The same concept. We have to take up our cross, just like Christ did, suffer that punishment, physically or spiritually, in a sense, and get through it. Go ahead.
It says,
and Christians don't suffer this at all. Like, trust me. Go ahead.
It says, verse 21, for even hereunto you were called, because Hamashiach also suffered for us, leaving us an example that you should follow his steps. Yeah,
and that's a cut to Christianity too. Like, he suffered for us. We know who Christ suffered for, Matthew 27, where it says, let his blood be upon us and our children. That's only talking about the Israelites or the Jews. So Christians can't claim this. And in reference to just leaving an example, they claim they're of Christ or walking with Christ or being Christ-like or Christians. They don't follow the example Christ said at all. They're not stern. They're not. What's the word they use? What's the saying, Luke?
Austere.
Austere. They're not austere. They're lovey-dovey like a damn Teletubby, man. That make no damn sense. But they want to look at us like we're just mean and cruel without love. Like, no, we love our people enough to yell at them and tell them exactly what they're doing. You gonna yell at your own children, right? Why can't I yell at somebody that's walking down the street that's supposed to be loving God just like me?
Right.
You can't be a hypocrite.
Yeah. I mean, just be reasonable. Like, what Jake has ever grown up, like not being yelled at? Like, that's the only way you can get us to pay attention. Like, just imagine, hey man, you need to keep the commandments, okay? Have faith have faith in Jesus. You think he gonna pay attention to that, man?
Exactly.
He gonna look at you up and down, like, what's wrong with this dude?
Yeah, I remember I went over one of my white friend's house in middle school, and like he would just say whatever he wanted to his parents. And I'm just looking like, so you're gonna get your ass beat now or later? He's like, no. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, so you just talk to him like this and nothing happens? He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh. Okay.
They are not played as other men.
Yeah, man. That was foreign territory for me. I was like, man, I can't come over here no more. Man. Y'all going this dude gonna kill his parents one day.
Man.
Crazy.
Yeah, another.
Yeah, keep going down. Actually,
Okay. Verse 22. It says, "Who did no sin?
who what?
Did no sin."
So if you're a Christian, you follow Christ, you proclaim to be a sinner all the time. But you can't be follow his example if you're still sinning. Doesn't make no damn sense. Just like it says in 1 John 3:8, right. Those who sin are of the devil. So Christians are the devil right now. I'll get there after that. Get there after that. Actually, keep going.
It says, "Neither was gall found in his mouth."
Neither was gall found. Christians are so quick to lie and just twist the Bible to their own will. Just like when I was debating David Lynn, he was just making stuff up the whole time. I'm like, bro,
you gotta pray in the spirit, man. You gotta try to pray in the flesh. You gotta pray in the spirit.
If you don't pray in the spirit, bro, where? What? Are you kidding me? Like, come on, bro. It was just absurd what he was saying. I'm like, so Paul can add commandments to the Bible? Mm-hmm. He did not want to answer that question. Like, you're telling me what Paul says is a sin now? No. He's telling you in a spiritual sense, okay, if you do these things, it might not be profitable for you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So in that whole Romans 14:23 point he made up, talking about if it's not a faith, it's sin. No. That is talking about people eating food. That's what we're talking about. You skip the whole chapter to say whatever is not a faith is sin. No. Even that's not a law. Sorry.
That doesn't even make any sense. Like, what do you mean? Whatsoever not a faith is sin. So if I have my like check this out. Right? I got my phone right here. It's not a faith, right? So is it sin? Is it sin to have this,
bro?
Like that's
it was insane, bro. It was insane. It was just folly what he was saying to me. But go ahead, brother.
Yep.
Wait, let me say one thing real quick. What really got me is when you said like, "Oh my God, bro," and then he said, "What, you're gonna use the Lord's name in vain?"
Oh
and he himself know that God is not the Lord's name. Like,
bro,
I'm like, you're just playing. You just play. You know that's not his name, bro. You just sitting there. You wasting there wasting 15 minutes off a point that don't make no sense, bro.
I don't know. He was trying to make a point that I was in idolatry or worshiping some other foreign god. I'm like, bro, you know what I'm saying, bro. And it's not even a point that you can just stick me on either way. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I think that's all I wanted in that. Yeah, that's all I wanted. Was get 1 John 3 and 1 John 3 and 8.
Okay. 1 John chapter 3, verse 8. It says, "He that committeth sin is of the devil."
That's what Christians are, right?
And they said
by their own admission.
Yep.
They're proud sinners, saved by grace. I'm like, wait a minute. So sinners can be saved? It's a fair question, right? Like, which one is it? Because if you keep reading this, keep reading. Actually, it's going to expose their logic.
Yep. It says, "For the devil sinned from the beginning. For this purpose, the Son of Yahweh was manifested." That he might destroy the works of the devil.
Wait a minute. So if you're a sinner, you're of the devil. Christ was manifested to destroy the works of the devil. So he's going to destroy sinners. So Christians can't be saved already because they're going to be destroyed by Yahweh when he comes back. It's just common life. It's just simple, you know. It doesn't make no damn sense. And our people that's into this type of logic and ideology, they just need to just like snap into a Slim Jim, like, brother, snap out of it.
You're not chewing, you're hungry for the word.
Please, like, please get this proper edification and food, this spiritual food of the truth. Like, the truth shall make you free, as is written. But the truth is not in the building a Christian church behind the pastor in the pulpit. I'm sorry.
You can't. It's just like you just can't believe that you just call the name Jesus and you don't have to do nothing else. You're automatically saved. You're already in heaven.
That part.
Like you can't believe it's that easy. Any other solution? I mean, any other situation? You know, Jake could be like, "Well, that's too easy, man. There's got to be a trap door behind it." But for some reason, when it has to do with the salvation of your soul, all you got to do is say one sentence and then you're in.
That part. On my deathbed, like a Catholic priest. Yeah, let me just repent right before I give up the ghost. Like, no, bro.
Yeah, no,
Doesn't
man.
make no damn sense. And the crazy part is like, this is sidebar. You know, Christians be like, oh well, when I die, I'm going to heaven. Like, all right, cool. So what's going to happen when Yahushua comes back? And it says that the dead in Christ shall rise first. He's going to snatch you out of paradise and have you walking. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, it's just things that you got to ask these people. Like, how's it going to work? Like, can you explain?
He says he's gonna say, so you can be like, so he's gonna snatch me up, like he's gonna send me back into my body, and then I'm gonna go right back into paradise.
It doesn't make sense, bro. It doesn't add up.
It does not compute.
Yeah, like, and like I said, that's not even the in-depth Bible verses. That like that's just like common sense that they believe in. Like, our people just so bugged the hell out and just believe whatever they're told. They don't really, like I said, they'll read it into the text because somebody told them it's there. Which is like I said, okay, I can do that with certain verses too, but there's be precepts, and obviously the prophecy is going to stand firm as well because Yahushua doesn't say anything like that.
Mm-hmm. It's because they think their pastor and the church is the doctrine. That's
facts.
But yeah, they believe that choir is a doctrine, man.
Yeah, for real. And
that's Baptist all they on is singing.
Baptist church, oh my gosh, bro! I ain't never heard so much. I'm like, y'all got all this time to come up with these songs. Got a new song every week, but ain't nobody got no. They're still reading Galatians 3 and 28.
Oh, that's the question you had, wasn't it?
Yeah. You gonna see the Jew or the Gentile, man.
Yeah. Tripped up over that. Try to come over there, try to confound us with that, like we ain't never dealt with it. I see, I got you.
Just like that one dude, remember that one Mexican cat? He said, well, so what are y'all gonna do with John 3:16? Yeah, like it's like he just came out with the cut. Like we won't be able to defend. Like we standing out here saying salvation only for one people, and then like we just never heard John 3:16 before.
Right. I mean,
oh God, I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do, man. He said John 3:16. I mean, take our garments.
For real. And then they skipped all 15 verses ahead of that. Act like we're isolating verses when we go to different verses as well. Like, come on, bro. That's the number one thing you're gonna tell me right when I ask you who's salvation for. John 3:16. All right, bro.
That's the world.
Let me see.
Yeah, man.
Madness. But yeah, you got any more precepts? We're gonna wrap it up.
Okay, Con. Now that was basically it for me.
Yeah, Ayash, you got any?
I'm thinking of something. Hold on, let me get this real quick.
Okay.
Wisdom of Solomon 6. Wisdom of Solomon 6 and 12 on down. And this is like one of my favorite scriptures I discovered probably like a year ago or something. It's just like, man, this is powerful.
You want me to read it?
Yeah, go ahead. So like,
yeah, this is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, verse 12, and it says, "Wisdom is glorious and never fadeth away.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yea, she is easily seen of them that love her, and found of such as seek her."
Sounds as a seeker, talking about wisdom, making a comparison to a woman, obviously. And it says earlier in this chapter, I believe, or it's not this chapter, I think it's 8. Actually, Wisdom Solomon 8 and 2, real quick.
Okay.
I loved her and sought her out from my youth. I desired to make her my spouse, and it was a lover of her beauty. And we precept that, I think it's in Psalms. Like I said, the wife of our youth is wisdom. That's what we came out with out of the wilderness, that the law, statutes, and commandments, which is acquainted to wisdom and a woman as well. And obviously the Most High is going to give it to the people that he loves, and that's what it describes in Sirach. But go back to that.
Okay. Wisdom of Solomon 6 and 12. It says, "Wisdom is glorious and never fadeth away. Yea, she is easily seen of them that love her, and found of such as seek her."
Go ahead.
Yeah. This is Proverbs 8 and 17. And it says, "I love them that love me, and those that seek me early shall find me." You know, and that's what wisdom has done for us, man, because the Lord has actually given us, you know, a heart to actually, you know, love wisdom, you know, true wisdom, not this you know, reading Socrates, you know, you know, not that
Socrates.
wisdom, man.
For real.
Because when you go to Colossians 2:8, you know, when it says, "Let no man therefore spoil you through vain philosophy and deceit," you know, philosophy is actually, you know, it's also known as pseudo wisdom. You know, that's what that is, because the world has much wisdom, you know, but it's the wisdom of this world. But the Lord has given us, you know, a heart to actually receive wisdom that would, you know, that would ultimately be, you know, the bridge to salvation, if you will.
Okay.
You want me to go 13?
Keep going all the way to 20.
Okay, but says she prevented them that desire her in making herself first known unto them. Says, whoso seeketh her early. Oh, and that's the same thing Proverbs 8 says. Whoso seeketh her early.
It's the same thing in Sirach, the second chapter, I believe.
Oh, second chapter?
Sirach, the second chapter, you know, where it says, if you go to it, it'll pretty much line up with that as well.
Oh, okay. You want me to go to it?
Yeah, let me see. I'm just gonna find it real quick.
All right.
Hey, after you finish that passage in Wisdom of Solomon, we're gonna wrap it up.
Okay, come. Is this verse 16? They that fear the Lord will seek that which is well pleasing unto him, and that love him.
Hold on. No, it's the first chapter slide.
Okay, come.
First chapter, I believe it's 24.
Okay.
He will hide his words for a time, and the list of men shall declare his wisdom. So that's in reference to, you know, preventing somebody from getting the wisdom at first until you seek it.
Hey, bro. Man. Hey, bro, that's heavy, bro. If you think about it, because it says he will hide his words for a time. Is that not what the Lord has done? Well, it did, because he told Daniel to seal up the book, seal up the vision.
Exactly.
You know, and for many days, you know, then it'll be revealed. And then Revelation 5 goes into how the Lamb who was slain before the foundation of the world was worthy to open up the seals. And that's why come in the spirit of Yahweh Shah, which is the spirit of prophecy. Because we're the lips that's actually declaring this wisdom now that was actually sealed up.
That's right.
That's right.
That's how it works, man.
Bro, that's heavy right there, man.
Go back to wisdom.
Okay, but Wisdom Solomon 6 and 15. To think therefore upon her is perfection of wisdom. And whoso watches for her shall quickly be without care.
Same precept about it earlier. You're gonna be in perfect peace, seeking after the Most High, trusting in the Most High in these last days, and you're gonna be without care because you already know what's going on. The prophecies, the laws you got to keep in order to sustain and endure to the end. That's all. It all ties in together, man. Keep going.
It says, verse 16. For she goeth about seeking such as are worthy of her, showeth herself favorably unto them in the ways.
Read.
And meeteth them in every thought.
Meeteth them in every thought. Wisdom meets you with every thought. That's how the Holy Spirit works. Whether it's getting something to eat, whether it's a particular gas station you got to run to, the store you got to go to find that last, you know, piece of food you got to buy. Like I said, in Texas, I'm pretty sure I got to really search out what's going on. Because the shelves is empty. Most High gonna bring you to the proper place to get that nourishment, whether it's water, whether it's gas, like I said, whether it's food. Because I don't know how long it's gonna last, but you know, the Most High gonna have his servants eat, like I said in Isaiah 65. Keep going.
It says, verse 17. For the very true beginning of her is the desire of discipline.
Go ahead.
And the care of discipline is love.
Man, powerful. It all ties into the other precept I was bringing out in Sirach 30. Chasten his son, put him to work before he makes you disappointed. Things like that. If you put him to work, he's not going to go astray. And that wisdom and the information that you get is going to put you on the path to not want to go back to your old life. You know, keep reading.
It says, verse 18.
Y'all
see it up there?
Yeah.
Okay. It says verse 18, and Love is the keeping of her laws.
And that's all over the Bible. Love the Most High, keep the laws. That's how you love him. Go ahead.
And the giving heed unto her laws is the assurance of incorruption.
Isn't that what we're aiming for? The incorruptible crown? Go ahead.
And and incorruption maketh us near unto God.
And incorruption maketh us near unto God. Read.
Therefore, the desire of wisdom bringeth into a kingdom.
The desire of wisdom brings you to a kingdom. That's how we get the kingdom, keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, loving the Most High, having faith we can do it. Do is his son Hamashiach Yahushua. And that's how we're going to get this kingdom, man. Faith and works, as is written all over the Bible, man. It's plain right here. That's why I love this chapter. This little sequence of verses, man. I read this and was like, this is powerful.
Yeah.
And, man, Solomon, telling you, bro. And obviously, we know through the Spirit, Yahushua was Solomon.
That's it.
It's just like, there's no reason for you not to keep the laws of God if you're an Israelite. Or try to collaborate with these damn heathens, knowing damn well they're not going to get it. They have to wait their turn. They have to wait for us to drop crumbs on the floor for them, man. Like the dog of that Canaanite when she went up to your house, man. There's people that really like make me sick to my stomach trying to collaborate with these damn heathens. But our job is to be close to the Most High by keeping his laws right now, man. And he's going to protect you from her, protect you from any type of ailment and mental, any type of basically lack of faith that you might have, because you know in the long haul you're going to get over the hump by getting into the kingdom of heaven, man. But that's all I had.
Okay. So yeah, man. With that, we're gonna say call halal Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and say shalom.
Shalom.